Greetings and welcome to this episode on Geeks First. Well, it's been a little bit of a delay. Yeah, we're here in studio. Might be a tad different, but we're going to go ahead and review Part the Mistveil. All the cards that have been revealed so far, and boy, let me tell you, there are some very interesting cards in this set. I was going to film this yesterday, and I might at the end throw the little blurb in of what I was doing, but yeah, let's go ahead and dive right in, because you're here for that. Alright, so here we are on February, because this is basically at this point the easiest way to find all these due to the fact that they are being released on Twitter or from other various means, and they kind of exist in different forms across the internet. And I do enjoy that February is compiling this information because I was looking around Twitter, and boy, I'll tell you, it was a tad hard to be able to kind of collate all that data into one concise form so that I'd be able to have something. Also, this is going to help make this video get out a little bit sooner. Because I won't have to do as much editing with us looking at the cards. I don't have to put all the pops in. So we're going to try this format with me piping the output of my laptop that I'm staring at here. Hopefully it doesn't look really crazy. We're just going to go ahead and jump right in. So we're going to start by covering the first character in this list. It's the Mystic Assassin Hero New. And some of the things that I would say I have personally been the most confused about with this Part the Mistveil set is the difference between the Chi blue, which is these three blue symbols here, and the regular resource cost mechanic, because there was some discussion, or at least on my behalf, or speculation, where the background color of the pitch location may have played in some part to it. Like here's an example where this is a blue, but I don't think that that is. I believe that it truly will show this Chi symbol. I don't believe that that's been confirmed, but I believe that that is probably more likely than not. So back to New here. New is one of the three heroes. This is the Mystic Assassin hero, and then we have Enigma, who is the Illusionist hero, and we have Zin, Tamer of Purpose, who is our Ninja hero. Now, all of these are the standard 4 intellect, 40 health for the adult, and 4 intellect, 20 health for the young, and they all have the same abilities. They're not split, so they haven't gone down that fork in the road just yet. Now, Part the Mistveil so far is looking pretty interesting just holistically. There's going to be a lot more one-ofs in the deck by injecting a lot more of the legendary keywords, which I think is both a great way to mix up the mathematics in the game. When you think about a deck construction and you look at most popular lists, you'll find that in CC being 3 ofs, right, you'll typically see I'm running 3 of this, 3 of that, 3 of A, B, C, and D, and that's to get consistency, right? The idea is you want to get the same cards. So with having 1 ofs in the deck that have a really solid power, you can still lump them together if they are, as an example, Sacred Arts is a 3, which pitches, so that's a blue, costs 3, but it's a legendary. And then Sacred Arts of the Jade Domain is 3, which, is 3 here. But if you look, this one is a Mystic Assassin, this one is a Mystic Ninja, so those can't go in the same deck. But you get my idea, hopefully, is that if you have multiple legendaries as they reveal these, those like Mystic Instants here, or this Mystic sub-ability, which is part of the class and then the talent. So the Mystic talent, sorry, not sub-ability, you could have 3 or 4, hopefully various one-ofs that add together to create different abilities to where when you hit them in your deck, or if you get them at a certain time, they can be much more beneficial than the other. As an example, my absolute favorite one, which we're going to jump to and just quickly look at because we're coming back here, is Stir the Pot. It just says shuffle. I really, really wish it should shuffle target hero's deck, because this would be a madness card in UPF, but it doesn't. So anyways, back in the heroes. New, I know we talked about in another video, but we're going to quickly recap here. Attacks with stealth get when this chain link resolves, banish all action cards defending this. At instant speed, 3 Chi. Come back to that. Look at the top card of the opposing hero's deck. If it's a blue, you may banish it until end of turn. You may play the blue card from that hero's banish zone without paying its, and this is important now that we know that there are 2 types of resources, without paying its regular cost, the non-Chi cost. So that's pretty interesting because Assassin, in general, there was a lot of contract cards and Banish. So I'm not an expert in that. I do have somebody I was talking with that knows a lot more about Assassin. It is an interesting class, and I think that there's going to be some weird / interesting synergies. We obviously haven't seen very much of the whole set yet. I mean, we've really just gotten a smattering of things. So there's new. Enigma coming back with this. Illusionist. Now, this is going to be your first Spectral Shield attack. Each turn cost 1 less resource to activate, and at 3 instant speed chi, create a Spectral Shield token with a +1 counter on it. So again, you'll have to have chi to be able to do the create a Spectral Shield token, but if you were to do a lot of manipulation, like pitch the blue Transcend with it, which is one of the abilities we'll talk about here in a second, get that chi, then you'll be able to probably stack this up in a way where you can have multiple Spectral Shields come in for, a decent amount. And for those of you that don't know what Spectral Shield does, it is a ward. 1, if your hero be dealt damage, prevent that damage. So typically it's a prevention effect. But now in this case, it has a +1 counter on it. So I'm assuming that means we get to attack with that or use something to combo into pumping it up. That is my assumption at this time. And the hero I'm looking most forward to is Zen, Tamer of Purpose. Now, once per turn, 3 chi, create a Crouching Tiger in your hand, because Crouching Tigers are back in this set. Search your deck for a card with Combo. Combo is a ability that came out in WTR, and it says banish it, then shuffle. You may play it this turn. So I think this is pretty sweet. Now, obviously, because this is a ninja right now, ninja and mystic. So you have your Katsu, which is just straight ninja. You have your Phi, which is draconic and ninja. And now you have a mystic and ninja. So you have multiple forks in the road that you can choose from, each with varying abilities of card pools that they can play with. Now, this here does use the 3 chi in order to create that ability. And it looks like all 3 of these leverage a 3 chi to do that. I don't know if there's going to be any way to create just a singular chi, like a 1 chi, a 2 chi. I don't know if that's going to be like a, kind of a tunic type thing where you can every once in a while, do something. We haven't seen the elaborate add-ons, but that is the 3 main heroes. Now, we're going to go ahead and talk about the first card on this list here. And this is in no particular order, by the way. These were not in the revealed order, but these are the Marvel treatments of these cards. Now, I'm going to flip this over to talk about the Inner Chi first. And Inner Chi here is a 3 Chi up here, and it says you can pay Chi for both a Chi cost and a resource cost. So what's interesting about this is it doesn't penalize you for being stuck with a particular resource, similar to, like, I guess, I don't know if this is a great example, but from my remembrance, like, a waste creates a triangle resource in Magic, or I'm sorry, it's like a diamond resource, but that is not a generic resource. I don't remember. There's something about that, but from my understanding, at least, looking at that historical thing where I've had a couple of games when I used to play Magic where I got stuck with I can't use this for a certain type of resource. It looks like they're at least letting you use the chi for the resource that is intended to be used for the chi, and if you need to, cross pitch it for a regular casting card, so a resource in general. Now, this card here says common, but on this side, I don't know if that means Sacred Art is uncommon, or I'm sorry, a common, or if it is, I mean, it's a Marvel here, but is this a common Marvel, or is this a Majestic, and on the back, it has a common? So I don't know. That's a question I have. The Marvel is still beautiful. I mean, hands down, all these pieces of artwork are just top notch. This here, this is borderline like, get this on a playmat, put this on a wall. Like, I mean, I want this card. I want this in a playmat. I mean, I want this on a deck box. This is just, it's beautiful. I like the art, the style, the coloring. Mario Wibiso, Wisano. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing it. Beautiful piece of artwork. But what the card does, pitches for 3 regular resources. So by pitching for the 3, you're going to get a Transcended card back. We'll talk about that, which is, again, the backside of this, which is the 3 chi. So you're kind of pitching, doing something, and then getting that back. So this is a Mystic Assassin instant. Costs 3 to play. So if you pitch for 3, you're getting 3. Legendary, only 1. This is that kind of variety that we were talking about where you can have only 1 ofs in the deck. And it says, if you've played another blue card this turn, which you would have to pitch this, hopefully, choose 3, otherwise choose 1. Now, I could see, like, if you're using a tunic counter and maybe a yellow or assuming some other way to have a resource on board, or if you're playing against some of the heavy hitters and you have the tokens that give you a resource counter, that's where the choose 1 will come in. So, right, so you'll get to create a Fang, Strike, and Slither in your hand. Now, I don't know what either of those do at this point. I don't know if anybody does. So those are probably 2 cards that are coming out in this set. And it says banish 2 cards from your opposing hero's graveyard, and then Transcend. Transcend, we did finally get the actual text on Transcend in a final card here, which we're going to go down to Preserve Tradition. This is a common, by the way. And we're looking at this specifically to understand that if you've played another blue card this turn, Transcend, put it into its owner's hand flipped. So you'll see it's the same inner chi. There'll be a lot of double-sided cards in this, so that means that when you're drafting passing cards, there's probably going to be quite a bit of, knowing that the back of a card has a chi. So I don't know how that's going to affect it. There might even be a chi slot in the packs, right? Like every pack may get 1 or 2 chi cards, and these may show up in that slot, similar to like the Everfest item, carnival slot mentality. That could be an option. So now that we understand what Transcend does, if we were to play this and we had a blue pitched, great. You're going to create those 2 cards, Banished and Transcend, which means this is going to come back in your hand as an inner chi card, which basically gives you then 3 resources. So technically, I guess you could pitch to do something, and then you would basically get this back in your hand to play. So it's kind of like a play and replace, plus you get benefits. So I'm sure there's going to be a combo that'll be fun with that. Moving on. Sacred Arts Immortal Lunar Shrine. This is the Mystic Illusionist instant. Pitches for 3, costs 3, legendary. If you've played another blue this turn, choose 3, otherwise choose 1. Common theme here, right? Create 2 Spectral Shield tokens. Put a +1 counter on each aura with ward you control. Now, that is interesting because it doesn't say put it on each Spectral Shield token, meaning that if you have more auras, you have more +1 capabilities. So this can probably work to some advantage by turning all of your auras into something that you can attack with. I don't know. I'm speculating. I'm not an illusionist main, so I'm just kind of going off of that. Same thing, energy on the back, and Transcend. Again, beautiful artwork. No need to really probably comment much more on that, but they definitely really, I think, did a much better job of marvelizing the cards here, comparatively speaking to what I saw in Bright Lights, even though I'm a mech main, because the chase desire for me to go seek out a Marvel that had the same piece of artwork as the regular, not as big of a drive to me, but still good cards. I like them. I still need all the Evos for my deck. Back on this, Sacred Art Jade Tiger Domain. Now, Sacred Art Jade Tiger Domain is a legendary, very similar again. 3 pitch, 3 cost. This is the Ninja instant. And it is, if played with another blue card this turn, choose 3, otherwise choose 1. Again, same. Create 2 Crouching Tigers in your hand, or your Crouching Tigers get +1 this turn and Transcend. So, could very well be here that Crouching Tiger is getting the +1 and creating 2. If you look at what Crouching Tiger is, this came out in Dynasty. At least I remember this mostly being Dynasty. There's a regular and a Marvel. Marvel, I think, got bought out, and I'm pretty sure it's still stupid expensive. I'm glad I kind of already had the ones that I got, I guess, because I didn't really think that, I don't know, CROUC, Crouching Tiger. I mean, it just basically goes to show, by the way, if you're in the game long term, yeah, it's $45 right now. And just 5 days ago, it was $20. So if you're in for a while and you collect one of everything before it becomes popular, congratulations, you've got what you need. Now, what's nice about this is it is, ethereal. If Crouching Tiger be put into a graveyard from anywhere, it instead ceases to exist. Now, this is just a 0 for 0, again, enabling you to kind of go a little bit wider by giving these into your hand. Now, these are the other cards that are referencing it, right? Blessing of Chi gets you the +3. So a lot of this probably ties into making a very wide, ninja character. So we'll see. Also, artwork-wise, this is a really kind of a sweet idea. It reminds this kind of gives me very much Mortal Kombat, or like, just I like it. It's probably going to look beautiful if it's in cold foil. I think it's going to look the highlighting. All right. Next but not least, we have Droplet. This came out in a series of, I think, 4 cards released at once, and this was a really interesting set of cards. They were, if I recall, they're all blue. I don't think they're all 0. No, they're not 0. It's 0, 1, 2, and 3, which I'm not sure what to think of that just yet, but it is intriguing that they go up in sequential. So Droplet here is if you've played another blue card this turn, it gets +2. So it's already a 2/4/0 with 2 defense. Overall, that's great. Now this is a mystic action. So again, any of these 3 heroes can leverage it. Next, you had Rising Tide. Again, artwork looks awesome here. Like, I'm gonna throw a tsunami at you. I like it. So this is a 3 for 1 with a +2 if you've played another blue. And then Spillover. Very, again, water thematic here. You see I think are they bonsai trees? I don't remember if that's the exact correct term, but I typically see these in a lot of movies that I see that are based in Japan. And this is a 4 for 2 that gets +2, so now you're at 6, right? That's a big number for 2. And then Tidal Surge. Again, this person, I feel sorry for them because it looks like if something is going to happen, they're going to get washed away. But it's a 3 for 5. If you've played a blue card, get +2. So that's a 3 for 7. Wow. That's pretty big. So, it's also a common. Yeah, that's what I said. All right. We're going to save this one for just a second. We're going to Preserve Tradition. Now, again, this is a common, and this has energy on the back. It's a 3, so this is a very blue thematic style, set. You'll notice that there's a lot of blues, so the resources will probably be very abundant in this entire, for lack of a better word, generation of set. We already kind of had a set that was more redline focused, which was the dragon set, with Phi and the Emperor relying a lot on red. So this is probably your blue. I would honestly say Heavy Hitters could have very well been, in my opinion, a more yellow centric set, because the yellows actually were pretty good in that set, in my opinion. But that's just a generalization, right? Anyways, Preserve Tradition is a 0 cost, 3 pitch blue, legendary. Again, back to the 1 of. Put target action card from your graveyard on the bottom of its deck. If you played another blue card this turn, Transcend. So this is like action 2. You want these to be your second or third part in a turn, right? So the downside here, no block, no attack. That could come back to bite you. I'm going to also assume, based on that, I did not mention that earlier, but I think each of these also, the Transcend cards, that must be the downside, is they don't have a block or an attack rating on them. So they're just blanked out. But put an action card from your graveyard on the bottom of your deck, so that's going to be some level of recursion. This is similar to Remembrance. Would be a good example of that. I believe that is the card name. Yep, Remembrance. Although it's shuffle up to 3, so this is like a mini Remembrance, and maybe not as good. Well, that says shuffle. So Remembrance being shuffle changes your pitch stack. This Preserved Tradition would be known where it's placed, so maybe that's the trade-off. I'm sure that is pretty important. Back to Stir the Pot. Kitty! So, sadly, with my cat's passing, I'm finally getting to the point where I'm kind of accepting that and moving on, so I'm at that stage in my life. But Stir the Pot here is a mythic instant that is a 3 blue pitch, costs 0 to play, legendary, that says nothing but shuffle. And there is a cute cat watching a bowl saying, what in the hell is going on here? Because you have, like, at first I thought this was like from Tremors. Then you got like a little chicken. You got a one-eyed monster looking thing. You got some dragons, some various like chicken beak monster thing. I don't even know how to describe some of this stuff. I'm sure there's terminologies that mean something. I'm guessing some of this is based in some sort of lore or traditional, folk tales that I just do not have a clue what they are. But I think this card again, will look beautiful. And looking at it again, it's a common. So this, again, may be the first time ever we're seeing common. Well, no, I can't say first time ever common cold foils, because technically the Crouching Tiger, I mean, that was a token. I don't know. That may be the first time a common cold foil. But either way, this is still, or Marvel, sorry, because Marvels will be cold foil, but they're not strictly cold. I think they are strictly cold foil. I'm talking out of my ass right now. Anyways. We got Passover. Now, Passover is a mythic instant. This is a 3 blue, 0 legendary. Banish target card from opposing hero's graveyard if you played another card, Transcend. So this art here, I'm not going to lie. I am very attached to looking at this. This just screams amazing. Like, very, very, very awesome. Like, I want this just full art. I really would buy this. It's very similar to Trench of Sunken Treasure that I really enjoyed that artwork on. Yeah, Trench of Sunken. Something about Trench spoke to me. This card speaks to me. Wow. I mean, the fabric and the kind of turning around. Obviously, there's some this art, this one here, very much. But Passover, really, really good, really awesome. All right, now we're going to go into a couple other cards. These are the promos that came out. These came from various sources. Big Blue Sky, again, blue theme again, 0 cost. This gets 1 defense for each blue card you've pitched this turn. So if you've pitched 2 blue cards and you keep this, or 2 blue cards for something, you pitch a blue card, you do something, and you're defending with this defense reaction because you're doing something on their turn, you could easily make this a 3 or a 4, maybe a 5 for 0. That seems pretty good. So I'm curious to see how that pans out. But it's still a 0 for 3. Now has 2 defense. So next up, Wild Blue Yonder. Again, artwork here, I really enjoy this. It's sweet how it goes into the card. I love that. This is a Mystic attack reaction, 2 defense. Target attack gets +1 for each blue card you have pitched this turn. So, also, pretty sweet. There's 3 chakras, Moon, Wind, and Tide. The Moon chakra here is a 1 pitch, so it's red. 0 cost. The next time you would be dealt damage this turn, prevent 3 of that damage. If you have transcended instead, prevent 5. Now again, the prevention effect here is amazing if you've transcended, but the downside is there is no attack or defense value on this. So it's circumstantial. You have to have transcended for it to prevent damage. So I will be curious to see how this functions, because I'm not seeing it. Now, with Illusionist, I'm assuming you're acting on your opponent's turn anyways, so. Tide Chakra. This is the Assassin one. And you can see here kind of the Assassin-esque style of frame. This is the more blue or blue-green, maybe. And this is kind of a Illusionist frame. So with this one here, again, red pitch, 1 cost. Target Assassin or Mystic attack action gets +3. If you've transcended, it gets +5. 3 5s, and it has 3 defense. Overall, it's a stellar card. I like the artwork too. I don't know what this means. I think somebody tried translating this, and I remember somebody has already, I guess, deciphered this kanji or hiragana, katakana. I don't remember which one it is, but I'm sure there'll be a lot of hidden symbolisms within the whole set. And last up, Wind Chakra. Red pitch, so 1 resource, 0 to pitch for, or to play, sorry. The next Crouching Tiger you play gets +3. If you've transcended, gets +5, and this has Go Again. So, Mystic Ninja attack action, Mystic Ninja action, not attack action. 3 defense. So, pretty good. Obviously, this one being the no defense, a little bit different than those, but that is what we have so far. I'm going to try and work on formulating some information once I can. It looks like there was actually 1 additional card that is not on here that was spoiled. Let me see if I can pull that up. It's going to be on Twitter. I had to go request to get somebody to try and tell me what the meaning of it was. Actually, there's 2 cards that were spoiled. So this one today is Orthon of the Mystic Tenants. It is a 3-pitch blue that I am desperately not in the right part of where I need to be. Let's do that. Oh, all right, there we go. A little bit better. This is a 3-pitch blue. Cost 4. It's big. It's a lot. It's kind of a lot. It's a Majestic. It's a legendary. 1 of. Draw 2 cards. If a Chi was pitched to play this, instead draw 3 cards. So if you've already pitched for 3 of the Chi to have that in your hand, plus something else, this can get you 3 cards. So there, again, feels like there's a combo line that that would be really interesting. I think. So let me grab the other card. All right, so this one also came out, and this one, according to the translations, as long as this is correct, is called Path Well Traveled. Again, very beautiful piece of artwork, if I might add. And the text on it essentially says, target attack gets go again, Transcend. So I'm hoping that that translation is accurate, because boy, that artwork is beautiful. And, you know, I won't be able to say too much more about it just because at this stage I don't have much more information, but that is the last card on the docket list as of Saturday, April 7th, 2024. All right, well, it is just a few minutes shy of when I'm going to be getting on for a video call with Riddler Man, and I am both going to do that and continue preparing for the once in my and probably your lifetime's solar eclipse that is happening on April the 8th here in Indianapolis, Indiana. It's actually going across the U.S., and I am in the path of totality. So I don't have to travel for it. I'm very lucky that we get to experience that, and I will be setting up lots of my cameras to try and capture that. It's actually been one of the primary focuses that I've been working on for the last week, is learning and testing and figuring out some of that stuff. And I apologize that I didn't do a video for the channel, but honestly, this once-in-a-lifetime event warranted a lot more attention of my time, effort, and energy than producing content. And I'm actually glad I waited, because by the time I got around to seeing this particular, you know, set of information, this really now makes the video worthwhile to watch, because talking about 1 or 2 cards and speculation and stuff, I mean, that's all fine. I could try to be the, you know, clout grabbing person that just talks about one thing. I don't want to do that. I want to talk about multiple things at once. I want the video to have substance. You know, obviously long term, I still like the starter decks, like Commoner. I'm very excited about the first strike decks. Obviously I don't know anything about those. We got the armory decks that are coming. UPF. I mean, there's just, this year is going to be so jam-packed full of stuff. I mean, there's going to be a 1,001 follies, lollies, and lick-em-lollies that we're going to want to try to cover. So there's just a lot. My wallet is crying right now, and I haven't even hit Gen Con time. And speaking of which, Gen Con is going to be, I guess the LSS is going to be there. So I don't know if maybe James White himself is going to be at Gen Con, or if they're going to have another team. Either way, I'm definitely going to document that, because Gen Con is my home turf. That's typically around my birthday anyways, so that's my go-to con. And I would just be very, very excited to see them at Gen Con this year. So that is it for now. So until next time, may your games be fun and your friendships grow. Cheers. And I'm going to go ahead and throw in the little bonus blurb right now of what was happening the other day when I was going to film. So, yeah. There you go.